Later on that day, I get a phone call from HR. And hey guys.
Hey guys.
So you guys read the title, right? Did you get laid off?
No. Knock on something.
I got laid off, guys. So I'm gonna actually, you know, tell you the reason that I'm smiling and not crying is because I got over it, actually. Hence why I'm sharing now. You know, we are kind of like the delayed sharers. We share it after we process it and handle it within the household. So back in February, I was still pregnant. My best friend Lamar was texting me like, hey, I think they're gonna close our department.
Because they work together.
We work together. So we work for a large bank. Our department had maybe about 120, 150 people in it. And I was like, no, are you sure? He was like, they said we're gonna have a meeting, like all the head people are here. So, you know, I'm texting my other friend Angela, who also works with me, and I'm like, yo, is this true? Because I know she would kind of hit me back faster. Because Lamar, he be known, but sometimes you gotta second guess his stories. So
you're saying he's not a good source?
He doesn't read, so I don't know.
He doesn't read, no.
So anyway.
Like in life, but just not in detail.
He reads things like he has to read like stop sign, no turn on red, stuff like that. Or like orange juice.
A short caption on Instagram.
Right, yeah. So anyway, back on track. So then she's like, yeah, we have this meeting, I'm gonna text you. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like on the couch, pregnant, February. So I'm like, how many months?
Very pregnant.
7 months, 8 months?
You were 8 months.
8 months. So I'm like texting Jamila and her mom in a group chat like, hey, they might be closing our department. They might be laying us off. So what did you say?
And I'll be honest with you guys, like for me to be able to process bad news, I keep moving. So I don't have a good memory of any of this, because if I process stuff right then and there, like I'll be laid out on the floor somewhere. So I'm at work and I get this text and I have no idea, like I don't even remember what I told Sequina.
I think you said we'll figure it out, and I think your mom said, well, they still better be paying you. They gonna pay you. That you need to call HR and make sure you still gonna get paid.
Because at the time he set it up, because my wife is an excellent storyteller. So as you guys know, Sequina was on short-term disability leave because she had a high-risk pregnancy. Right. So she was already home and she was already put on bed rest for the remainder of her pregnancy. So that's why she was at home when she got the call from Lamar about her department.
Right. Thank you for recapping that for me. So I was worried that they weren't going to pay my maternity leave, or that they were going to
that they were going to start her severance while she was on leave.
I didn't even let them know I got a severance.
Oh.
So I was worried that the separation between our department and the company was going to happen before I went on maternity leave. But the moral of the story is that things work out how they're supposed to. So indeed, that day they found out that they were going to lay us off. So I got the message, you know, everybody was sad.
You got a call?
I got the message from Lamar and Angela that they were going to lay us off. So I was in my head like, wow, like this is really, really true. So I didn't know how it was going to affect me because I was on leave. So I didn't think that they were going to call me to notify me, or I thought they were going to send me something in the mail. But what do you know? Later on that day, I get a phone call from HR, and he starts saying in a crackly, stuttering, scared voice that we're closing your department and we're shifting most of your volume and your work over to Texas, and this and that. And I was like, wow. I was like, so how does that affect me, because I'm out on leave for a high-risk pregnancy? He was like, whoa, I don't want you to stress out. I'm gonna figure everything out and call you back. So for my thought, I'm like, should he have been calling me while I was out on leave anyway? They probably should have communicated via mail. So after that, I was just kind of like waiting on him to call me back, because I needed to know, like, some of the questions I asked him. Since you guys are projected to close in April, my due date was March 24th. So I was like, okay, am I still covered if I go? Or, you know, what's the deal with me being out on leave? So basically what happened, he called me back and said that they would still honor my maternity leave, which was 16 weeks. If you guys have watched our other video, I still got my 16 weeks, which was amazing. That ended in June 15th. So by June 15th, the bank I worked for offered a severance package where you can get 2 weeks 100% paid for every year that you were there. I was there for 8 years, or I could have took a lump sum. Because I have Harper and I still needed to make sure I had medical insurance, I took the 2-week payout. So I got another 16 weeks of 100% paid. If you guys are doing the math, I am still getting paid, okay? So I remember one time, the reason why I wanted to share this story is because if you think about getting laid off, you think about being pregnant, you think about having a high-risk pregnancy, then you think about being first-time moms and a 2-household income, and then you think about how are we going to survive. I went to my lactician one day. We went to go to an appointment, a follow-up appointment. I told her I got laid off, and she said, congratulations. And I was just looking like, congratulations? But then when you think about it, like, it really was a good thing because I got to stay home with Harper for 7 months, 100% paid, meaning I was still able to contribute to the household. And I'm going to let Jamila jump in and say how she felt with, because it is some type of pressure because 16 weeks of severance is going to run out, right?
Oh, now me. So I'm trying to remember the day that she told me. I really think that, how old am I now? I'm 29.
Mm-hmm.
I think towards the end of me being 28, because I was still 28 at the time, it was my grandmother's voice, like her saying that you cannot worry and pray at the same time. And that's been my mantra, like during this whole process, because we're talking at a time where Sequina was already high risk. We'll put our labor and delivery stories here so you all could get caught up if you haven't already. So we've already received at this point a couple of times really bad news. So this is kind of compiling on top of everything else that we're going through. And do you remember the date that you found out? Because I think that Sequina honestly was hospitalized
the next day.
Yeah.
It was, I found out on a Thursday, and then that Friday, I think I called Jamila for my regular ultrasound, and they weren't getting enough movement from Harper like they wanted to, so they sent me to labor and delivery emergency room. So the very next day.
So we spent the weekend in the hospital, and then Sequina came out of the hospital for a week, and then you went back into the hospital, and then that's when Harper was delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was already a tough time period, and for me to keep moving, I just can't process stuff right then and there. So it was really just me thinking like, well, people who make what I make are in a 1-income household and they do okay. But then you start thinking like, yeah, but then do they have 2 car notes? And how much credit card debt do we have? So
do they travel? Do they have?
Because we travel a lot.
An infant in home.
And then thinking about like, well, we have a child coming. That's going to change our expenses completely. So this happened all around the time of income tax and bonus time. So for me, financially, I wanted to set us up. So I didn't pay off all of our debt, but I paid off. You paid off
like, you did a big bulk because you actually completely paid off one of my credit cards. I was able to take care of one. Because I don't have crazy credit cards. I think my highest credit card at the time that you paid off was like $5,000. Yeah,
so what I did is I knew for as far as credit wise, because I do make a little bit more than Sequina, for her debt to income. For her debt to income ratio.
Mini boss, okay?
For her debt to income ratio, it would make more sense for me to pay off a good chunk of her credit and then still just pay off a good sum of mine. So that way we aren't paying credit card debt. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to eliminate a couple of bills. And so I did that with our bonus and our income. And then I was able to save a good chunk of that as well for us to have with Harper. And that, for me, I just go in planning mode. Like, I'm worried about the money. I need to plan. So I told Sequina to write out all of your bills, because if I need to take on everything, I would like to know months and months in advance, so that we can start planning and saving. And thankfully, what were you about to say?
I was going to say, whoever is true J and Q watchers, y'all remember that time I was doing that family budget? I was making sure she could take care of all them bills, because it was getting close to the end of the 16 weeks. Once it got to like around 10 weeks, I was getting kind of nervous, a little nervous, like, because and let me plug this in here. I am, during this 16-week process, actively looking for work.
Yes, during the whole time. And I think though you also have to be aligned with your spirit, not to get like spiritual in any way, but Sequina kept putting out in the energy into the world, into the space, that she wanted to stay at home. So Sequina, now, you know, now we're good. But at the time, I think it took so long for us to get back balanced because Sequina wanted to stay at home with Harper, and that was her first priority, which is completely understandable. But, you know, she was sending out two different messages into the world. One is I want to be employed, and the other one was I want to be at home with my baby.
So in my mind, I was like, oh, I want to be at home with my baby, but my actions were actively being employed. So I was applying for jobs. So once I got on the right track, like, okay, 7 months. The thing for me, I didn't want Harper to go to a daycare. So once we found her babysitter, I was okay. You know, I felt a little bit more comfortable. And then, you know, the offers started rolling in. So honestly, I don't want to hold you guys up too long. But the first thing I want to say is just make sure you have a partner that's going to support you through it. Like, not the good times, also the bad times, the unsure times. There's going to be a lot of uncertainty. This is just one of the stories that we can share because we went through something very similar when we got engaged.
I was just thinking that too.
And so we have went through things before we got married that allowed us to go through this trying time, because just as my partner, her having to deal with me with a high-risk pregnancy, then a layoff while being off, you know, we dealt with a lot. You know, if y'all, like, all I can say is watch the labor and delivery story, and now in the back of your mind, imagine that we just found out that I'm laid off.
And I think I'm very calm because when you tell me stuff, like, I'm never like, oh my God. Like, I'm just very, I don't know, like, stuff still has to get done.
Right.
One of us has to be calm.
So when you're thinking about your partner, there's a lot of things that you should consider. One, making sure that they have your back. Like, that is most important because Jamila has had my back through many a big Q mess ups. This one wasn't on me, but
I got some payback coming. She got some payback.
So and also, you know, sometimes, like, I hate to say this because it's so cliche, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Because
and I love lemonade.
The flip side of this story, guys,
like Arnold Palmer,
is that I am gainfully employed now. And I am officially going back to work, and we have a vlog coming up to show you guys of our first day going back to work. So we're going to share that story with you guys. And what else? What else do we need to wrap up in this? Find a partner. There is still light at the end of the tunnel. If you are laid off or unemployed, get your mind and your heart to align, and the offers will come. And when I say they will come, guys, quick little testimony. I'm gonna make it real quick because this video's turned too long. I had got 3 offers that I could choose from, and I took the first offer, and then I was like, I wanted to go to the YouTube event. So I told God I needed to go to YouTube next up. So I just wrote the people and told them I would not accept the offer. After I accepted it, I reneged, and in my mind I knew that I was going to find something else that would allow me to go to YouTube. Lo and behold, the job that I did accept it, which was the best paying option as well, they started the Monday after we came back from New York. So it was meant for me to go to New York. It was meant for me to decline that job to get a better offer as well. So you just have to trust the process and allow things to align in your life. So for everybody out there who is going through a tough time, I know it's the holidays, just stay strong, align your energy, and it all could work out for you too. So this is just a little bit of motivation. I know we come up here, look happy. We have a beautiful family. We are very happy. We do have a beautiful family, but we go through some stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
So please know that it's not always peaches and cream around here.
It's not always rainbows and butterflies.
Hello. Because your girl has been laid the F off.
Really?
Alright, y'all. So again, shout out to everybody. We need all this positive energy coming into the holidays, and you too can get through. What's your? That's mine. You too can get through. Give them one better than that.
You too can get through. I don't know. That is kind of.
That's cute. Like you too can get through. Go ahead. Come on. I'll wait.
I already said mine.
Well, say it again so they can hear it.
I live by that you can't worry and pray at the same time. That's like literally, you said it, you have to trust the process. So it's some hard stuff going on. It's people that are struggling. We all have a testimony. We all get through things, and then getting through it will be your testimony.
Hello. All right, y'all. Thanks again for watching. And again, we thank y'all. We love y'all. Later.